I have never been so disappointed in my entire life, Samantha. You call yourself a mother?
Nancy, what's going on? It's not like you to get so angry at me. Could you please calm down and tell me what I did to upset you?
You know exactly what you did. I didn't think I'd have to explain this to you, but once a child is born, you are no longer living for yourself. You are living as a mother. From that point on, every single moment of your life is and must be centered around caring for your child. That's what mothers do.
I understand all of that, Nancy, and I agree entirely. So I'm really not sure what your issue with me is.
Don't lie to me. You have made it crystal clear with your behavior that you don't care in the slightest about becoming a proper mother.
Nancy, would you please stop berating me for long enough to tell me what I did? You're clearly very angry at me for something, but I have no idea what that something is. I know I'm not perfect, but I feel as though I've been a perfectly decent mother so far.
Decent? If this is your idea of decent, I'd be terrified to find out what qualifies as indecent in your eyes. You have no right to call yourself a mother. My son marrying an awful, neglectful, uncaring harlot like yourself was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Did you just call me a harlot? This has gone on for far too long, Nancy. You need to explain what this is all about right now.
What on earth is your problem? Oh, you think I've given you enough of a tongue lashing, do you? I haven't even begun to tell you everything you ought to be told. You make me sick to my stomach.
Okay, Martin, duty calls. You need to do something about your mother. She has gone absolutely insane. She just texted me out of the blue right now and has been saying some terrible things to me. She's telling me I'm an awful mother and that she regrets you marrying me. She even called me a harlot.
What? She did? I don't understand. She's never spoken like that to you before.
Yeah, I'm almost too shocked and confused to even be angry at her right now. What's her problem? Seriously, I have no idea why she would start laying into me like that, and she refuses to explain herself. She's still lighting up my phone with notifications as we speak.
All right, let's calm down for a minute and take stock of things. Maybe this has something to do with her wanting to meet the baby? I know she's been asking me basically every day when we're going to come over and visit her. It might just be the stress and anxiousness of wanting to hold her own grandchild. You know how excited she's been about our baby. So I don't know, maybe your frustration reached a boiling point and she's venting at you?
Are you kidding me? What are you saying, that it's my fault she's insulting me for staying with my parents to recover from the birth? She knew this was my plan from the very beginning. It's not like we haven't told her about it. And didn't she do the same thing when she gave birth to her kids? What gives her the right to criticize me like this?
Please, Samantha, I know you're upset, but let's just calm down and think about what the best way to handle this situation is.
I mean, seriously?
She's so excited to meet her grandchild that she calls me a harlot and says she wishes I wasn't her daughter-in-law?
I might be a little more accepting of her frustrations if she had even sent me a text to congratulate me on the birth or ask me how I'm doing, but nope, she hasn't even spoken to me since the birth.
I'll bet she was just trying to give you your space, you know? She doesn't want you to see her as an overbearing mother-in-law. Not to mention, Mom was never one to do much texting anyway. I bet she really wants to wait until she comes and sees you in person to talk to you about the birth.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's a great explanation. You nailed it, Martin. The reason she's calling me a harlot and a terrible mother is because she's concerned for my well-being.
Come on, give me a break, Samantha. I don't have any idea what's going on either. Look, I'll go and talk to my mom to see what's up, okay? You just relax and leave everything to me. I know you're still exhausted from the birth, so try not to think about my mom too much. It'll only cause you more stress. I gotta get back to work now. I'll talk to you later.
Samantha, when I texted you last week, I thought I couldn't possibly be any more disappointed in you than I was. But congratulations, dear, you've proven me wrong. Perhaps I didn't make my point clear enough. Should I use even stronger language than before until you get the point?
This is not what I needed today.
I'm a mother myself, Samantha, so believe me when I say that I know exactly how difficult pregnancy and labor can be on a woman. I know you'd like to take as much time as you can to relax and recover. When my youngest was born, I left my older children in my husband's care. That's totally normal. It's best for a mother to have as much time as possible to lie down, rest, and bond with her newborn baby. And I have been more than willing to help you out whenever I can. This is my grandchild we're talking about, after all. When I spoke to you last week, I was furious. Now, I can't even bring myself to get angry. I'm simply disappointed, devastated. You have abused our kindness for far too long, Samantha, both mine and my son's.
In what way have I abused your kindness? I haven't asked you to do one single thing for us since the birth, so I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
You know what? I've changed my mind. I am furious with you. You insensitive, selfish, mooching little parasite. How dare you say such an idiotic thing to me after leaving your newborn infant in my care every single day? What? Also, you can go out and spend time with your friends? Oh, it's positively scandalous. I should contact the authorities and have you investigated for neglect. If you've got enough energy to go off gallivanting with your friends, then you have enough energy to care for your own child. I have never in my entire life met a mother so lowly, so vile, so cruel as you, Samantha.
Back up, Nancy. I've been leaving my baby with you every day. What are you talking about? I haven't even done that once.
Are you actually going to try and play dumb with me? I won't let you get away with that little charade. I'm the one who's been taking care of your baby all day, not you.
But that doesn't make any sense. I've never taken my baby to your house.
I was trying to be a good mother to my son and a good grandmother to that baby. I was trying to be generous to you, Samantha. But if you're going to use me as a babysitting service for you to go out on the town, then I'm not going to help you anymore. And now you have the gall to pretend like none of that ever happened. Do you take me for some kind of imbecile? Honestly, what was Martin thinking, marrying a low-class woman like yourself? I didn't raise him to be so easily fooled by a lying, lazy woman.
Nancy, stop this barrage of texts for one moment and listen to me. Okay? Okay. I am currently at my parents' house, not out on the town with my friends, and my baby is with me.
What?
I've never taken my baby to meet you, Nancy. I was so thrown off guard by your rant last week, I never really had the chance to say my piece, so let me be very clear. I have absolutely no idea what you are getting so angry at me about.
Wait, you're at your parents' house? And you say your baby is there with you? That's impossible. Your baby is here with me.
No, Nancy, I can assure you my baby is currently sleeping on the couch right next to where I'm sitting. I can take a picture and send it to you if you'd like. I'll even put today's newspaper in the picture. Would that be enough to prove to you that I'm telling the truth?
I don't understand.
My daughter was born 2 weeks ago today. Martin is very busy at work and will be for the foreseeable future, so I'm staying at my parents' house because it's closer to us. I've been wanting to drop by your house to let you meet the baby, but I'm still not fully recovered from labor, so I wanted to rest at home for a while longer.
I'm confused. Martin's been coming by the house every day to drop off your baby with me. And wait, did you say that she was born 2 weeks ago? Wasn't your baby born last month?
Last month? No, she was born exactly 2 weeks ago. Why would you think she was born last month? Martin told me he was going to give you a call himself to tell you the baby was born. Did you maybe misunderstand him, or perhaps he misspoke?
He never gave us a call at all. He simply brought the baby over to the house one morning. He said it was an emergency and he needed me to look after the baby for a while.
Go on.
According to Martin, your labor was much harder than expected, and the doctors told you that you would need to remain on bed rest for as long as possible to recover. Martin's company wouldn't approve his request for maternity leave, though, so he wouldn't be able to stay at home with you. And so, like I said, I've been looking after your baby for most of the last entire month.
I see. Keep going.
I got suspicious, though, because it seemed like your recovery was dragging on for far too long. A few days to a week I could understand, but an entire month? Oh, that's just unheard of. So I confronted Martin to ask him what was really going on. And that's when he told me that you had lied about needing me to recover and were simply spending time with your friends. He said you were fed up with holding back from doing all the things you wanted to do but couldn't while you were pregnant and wanted some time for yourself. So you were making Martin do all the work caring for your baby by himself. Are you saying that isn't true?
Give me just a moment, Nancy. I need to go and have a conversation with my husband. I want to hear what he has to say for himself. Martin? Answer your phone, Martin. Either that or send me a text message, your choice. You are not so busy at work that you can't take 30 seconds to send a text message to me saying when you can talk.
Oh, hey there, Samantha. Sorry I took so long to get back to you. I've been absolutely swamped here at work. Man, am I exhausted from all the work I've been doing.
You can drop the act, Martin. I know you've just been avoiding having to face me. I heard a rather interesting story from your mother yesterday. Apparently, you've been bringing a baby to her house every day and making her take care of it. You told her it was our baby, but you and I both know it isn't. So, tell me, Martin, whose baby is it?
Okay, I know it looks bad, but please, if you'll give me just a second to explain.
I don't want to hear an explanation, Martin. I want the truth. You're going to tell me what the hell is going on right here, right now. Who is the baby you've been leaving with your mother? And why did you tell your mother that I was shoving off our baby onto you, then going out with my friends every day?
Calm down, Samantha, okay? How do you expect me to give you an answer when you keep pushing me like that?
Calm down? Calm down? How do you expect me to calm down now that I know what you've been doing? You've been leaving someone else's child with your mother and telling her it was her grandchild.
Okay, first of all, it is her grandchild. The baby that I've been leaving with her is mine. So I may have maybe bent the truth a little bit on some other stuff, but that much was true.
It's yours? The baby is yours?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about it for a while, but I was afraid of how you'd react. The thing is, I found out that my girlfriend got pregnant and had the baby without telling me. Then come last month, all of a sudden she came over and dumped the baby on my doorstep. She was like, I gave birth to it so you could take care of the rest.
So, let me get this straight. You've been cheating on me, and your mistress got pregnant. Martin? You cheating bastard! How long has this been going on?
Hey, come on, don't get so mad at me. It's not like I was ever serious about her. It was all just for fun. You're still my number one girl, and you always will be.
If I were really your number one, then you wouldn't have gone out of your way to find yourself a number two.
I'm sorry, okay?
And the baby was born almost the same time as ours? I can't believe you passed that kid off as ours, Martin.
I had no choice. My mom was the only person who I could get to look after it. I keep trying to get a hold of my girlfriend, but she never answers my calls or texts. And it's not like I could tell my mom the truth, could I? She'd be furious with me.
And so instead you decided to lie to her and make her think I was the irresponsible one? I am so mad at you right now, I think I'm gonna puke. You are not just comically evil, you are also freakishly stupid. Did you think you would get away with this? I was going to come back home eventually, Martin, and once I did, I would have found out about that baby.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to buy time is all. I thought if I could just delay you finding out, I might be able to come up with a plan, and after a lot of thinking, I finally came up with a great idea. How about we raise both of the babies as our own?
Both?
They were born so close to each other we could tell everyone they're twins and no one would suspect a thing. What are people gonna do, ask for a birth certificate to prove they're twins? No, nobody will ever suspect a thing.
I'm trying to think. Have you ever done or said anything so mind-blowingly stupid as that to me before? I mean, the idea that we should just lie to our friends and both children for their entire lives alone is outrageous enough as it is. But how do you plan on explaining things to my parents? I'm at their house right now. They already know that we only have one baby.
Shoot, that's right. I don't know, maybe we could just ask them to keep their mouths shut about it? Worst case scenario, we can give both sets of parents some money in exchange for their silence if need be. But we can think of a long-term solution for them later. In the meantime, all we need to do is make sure we keep our story straight with everyone else.
I cannot believe what I am seeing. You want me to raise your love child? And on top of that, you want me to lie to my friends? And you're even thinking about paying off my parents to hide your infidelity? I would never agree to do any of that. I'm divorcing you.
Divorce?
You can't seriously be surprised by that. Did you expect me to forgive you and continue our lives as usual after finding out you were cheating on me? And even worse, you had a child with her.
Hey, that's not my fault. It's not like I wanted to have a kid with her. She had the kid all by herself. She never even told me she was pregnant.
You do understand how babies are made, right? A woman can't just make a baby appear out of thin air. You were perfectly aware of how things could turn out when you slept with her. I'm done listening to your pathetic excuses, Martin. We're getting divorced, and that's final.
I can't believe you, Samantha. Like, come on, I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation over here. You're not making any effort at all to try and salvage our relationship. You can't just up and divorce me like that. And I mean, think about it. If you do divorce me, then you're the one who's gonna regret it.
Oh yeah? What makes you say that?
You're just a housewife. You quit your job just a few months into your pregnancy, right? Ugh, you were so whiny back then, always complaining about feeling sick or having a headache. So if you divorce me, you're gonna be single and unemployed with a baby to support all by yourself. You think you can replace me? Go ahead and try.
I can manage just fine without a lying, cheating husband like you.
We'll see about that. You're gonna be living on the streets within a month. Is that really the kind of life you want your baby to have? Living in a cardboard box and foraging through a dumpster for food scraps? I don't get why you won't just raise my kid together with ours. Everything will work out great. Women love babies, right? You should be thrilled to get to take care of two. So forget all that nonsense about divorcing me, okay? If you don't want to have your daughter grow up in a homeless shelter, that is.
Getting an idiot like you out of her life is the best possible decision Samantha can make for her baby. Now quit blathering on like a moron and give that poor girl a divorce like she wants.
Huh?
Let me tell you something about Samantha. She went through so much pain to carry your baby inside of her for 9 months and finally bring her into the world. And how do you repay her for all of that? By cheating on her and demanding she care for your love child? I didn't raise you to be this much of a nincompoop, Martin. I never want to see your face again.
Hold up, what's going on? This isn't Samantha, is it? Mom, is that you? But that's impossible. This is Samantha's number. Samantha's at her parents' house and she's still recovering from labor, so she couldn't get over to my mom's house by herself.
You know, Martin, there happens to be this wonderful invention called a car. Perhaps you've heard of them. I drove over to Samantha's parents' house, dimwit.
Oh no. Mom, it really is you?
I wanted to see for myself whether Samantha was telling the truth, so I headed out there first thing in the morning. Oh, and don't worry about your other child. She's safe and sound at the hands of my neighbors.
No. This is terrible. Why did you have to go see Samantha?
Why else to see my real grandchild? And am I ever glad I did? She is absolutely adorable.
What's that supposed to mean? Real grandchild? My other kid's your grandchild too, you know. She's my daughter and I'm your son.
Simply carrying your genes means nothing to me. My grandchild is the one who was the product of my son and his wife. I would never accept the child you spawned with some hussy you met in a nightclub as my grandchild.
Mom, how can you say something so cruel?
Oh, you think I'm being cruel, do you? What about what you did to Samantha, Martin? I'd say that's 10 times more cruel than anything I've said or done. How could you sleep with another woman when you have Samantha at home? And how could you lie to your own mother about having a child out of wedlock? And to top it all off, you tried to threaten her into staying with you? Every single aspect of your behavior today has been utterly despicable.
But, Mom,
Where did I go wrong, Martin? How did you become such a vile, lowly man?
Would you stop acting like I'm the only one at fault here? Sure, I cheated. That was wrong. I can admit that. But I didn't think she was gonna get pregnant. She hid that from me, too. I'm the victim here.
The only victim in all of this is Samantha, and you're going to divorce her immediately. You have no right to call yourself either her husband or your daughter's father.
I can't get divorced. I won't get divorced. You can't make me.
Oh, can't I? Well then, I might just have to have you return the money I gave you to celebrate the baby's birth. All $30,000 of it. Give it back immediately.
What?
You told me that you were going to tell Samantha about my gift and tell her I was wishing her a safe and speedy recovery.
But when I asked Samantha about that, she said you never did either of those things. Would you mind explaining to me why that is, Martin?
I guess I forgot to tell her.
My goodness, you have a convenient memory. If that's the case, then my next question is this. What did you do with that money, Martin? I gave you that gift under the false pretense that the child you were bringing to my house was yours and Samantha's. It was also meant to be used on yours and Samantha's child. However, since Samantha had no idea about the money, that tells me you have broken both of my conditions. Since the two of you are going to get divorced now, then I would like you to return that gift to me. Right now.
Okay, well, returning the whole amount right away is gonna be pretty difficult. You see, I kinda spent some of it.
Oh, and how much is some of it?
A lot of it.
A lot of it?
Most of it.
Most of it?
All of it. I'm sorry, I spent it all already. I bought a new phone. I thought since you gave me so much, I'd be okay using a little on myself. But then my girlfriend started threatening me, and so I had to give her all the rest.
What?
That woman is awful. She just drops this kid on my doorstep and tells me to take care of it. And then she demands $20,000 as a push present. She said if I didn't pay, she'd bring the baby to my office and tell all my coworkers about my affair. So I went and got the envelope you gave me and handed it over to her right away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. None of that is any of my problem, though. You're still going to return every last cent to me. If you don't, then I'm disowning you, and you'll never speak to me again.
Mom, no, you can't do that. I'm your only son, Mom. You can't disown me.
I have no interest in leaving any of my estate to a backstabbing man like you. I'll change my will and leave everything to Samantha and her daughter.
Mom, please.
If you would like to avoid that fate, then I suggest you give Samantha a divorce as quickly as possible. Make your choice, Martin. Divorce Samantha, or lose your parents and your money.
I'll call my lawyer to draw up the divorce papers right away, ma'am. I'll have him rush them over as soon as he's done. Hey, Samantha. So I know we're divorced and all now, but is there any chance we can give our marriage another try?
No.
But Samantha, I'm a total wreck without you. All of a sudden, I'm having to balance both my job and taking care of this kid.
I thought your mom was helping you out with the baby. She told me that she felt terrible for the situation the baby was born into and wanted to do what she could to keep her from turning out like you.
Well, yeah, she's helping me out, but she's being super strict with me. I mean, she took my bank card without my permission and withdrew half of my savings account to give to you. She told me I owed it to you to divide up the assets as quick as possible.
Ah, so Nancy was the one who wired me that money. I thought there was no way you'd be willing to do that.
Plus, she makes me pay her to look after the kid.
Wow, really?
Yeah, $20 an hour. Since she's watching the baby for 6 hours, that makes $120 a day. So I have to pay her like $2,000 a month just to go to work. That's more than half of my salary all going to her.
That sounds like a fair rate to me. She's got tons of experience taking care of kids. If you don't like it, you can always put her in daycare.
I don't have time to find a decent daycare to send her to. I asked my mom to look for one, but she said she'd charge me a finder's fee of $10,000.
Considering the amount of income she'd be losing, I'd say that's fair too.
Don't you get it? She's bleeding me dry. That's why I need to marry you again, so you can look after the baby for free. And cook my meals, do my laundry, clean the house, wife stuff.
My goodness, that is a tempting offer. I get to look after your love child and do all your chores? That sounds great!
Right, I knew we'd see eye to eye. I might have been kind of lazy back when we were married, but I promise, this time I'll be a completely different man. You can quit your job search too, that's gotta be a pain and a half. So, what do you say, Samantha?
Upon careful consideration, I'm going to have to decline. I already found a job, so I don't need anything from you. Like I told you, I'll be fine by myself.
What? You already got a job?
With my resume, it was pretty easy, actually. So, goodbye, Martin. Take good care of the baby. She's counting on you. Martin tried balancing childcare and work for some time after that, but eventually he realized it wasn't going to work out. He sold his house and moved back in with his parents. However, now his mother is charging him rent on top of her babysitting fee. After his alimony payments to me get subtracted from his paycheck, he's only left with about $300 each month to spend for himself. Despite being divorced, Nancy still comes by pretty regularly to see us. In spite of all that happened, my daughter is still her granddaughter. And Nancy is a wonderful, loving grandmother. She's always bringing all sorts of gifts, clothes, baby food, toys, you name it. I told her she didn't need to spend so much money on me, that just her coming by was enough. But she told me that I don't need to worry about the money, since if she started running low on cash, she could always raise her babysitting fee.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
All right, Mom, you're going to put a stop to this right now. What do you think you're doing, spreading such awful rumors about me? You're lying to the whole neighborhood about your own daughter. I can't even begin to tell you how much you've humiliated me. Whatever could you be talking about, Melina? I haven't lied about you to anyone. That's an awful accusation to throw at your mother. What lies are you referring to? You're telling everyone you know that my fiancé is a high school dropout, homeless, and collecting welfare. I just ran into Aunt Shirley downtown, and the first thing she did was ask me if I'm sure I want to marry a man like that. She spent a full 5 minutes trying to convince me to break up with him thanks to you. Oh, so that's what this is about. What's wrong with telling people the plain and simple truth about your fiancé? After all, the only kind of man dumb enough to marry a high school dropout like you must be equally as stupid as you are.
Excuse me? Did you just call me stupid? And I couldn't help but notice that that was also a cruel dig at my fiancé, too.
Again, was anything I just said wrong? You did drop out of high school, and you know what they say. Like attracts like. It's only natural to assume your fiancé must be equally as uneducated, reckless, and stupid as you are.
What gives you the right to talk about my fiancé like that? You've never even met him. I'll have you know he is a kind, intelligent, hardworking, wonderful man. Not only did he not drop out of high school, he actually went to college, and he got an advanced degree.
Are you serious? Your fiancé went to college?
Why do you think I've been begging you to meet with him and talk to him personally? You don't know anything about him. But whenever I invite you over for dinner, you're always busy with one thing or another. If you're going to talk to people about him, then common courtesy dictates you should at least speak to him first.
I would never even dream of doing such a thing. Why would I go out of my way to meet with your fiancé? I don't feel like associating myself with the dregs of society. Don't forget that I've been against you getting married from the very beginning. Tying the knot before your younger sister, Luna, it's absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous, madness even. So no, I won't be meeting with any fiancé of yours when I don't even consent to the marriage in the first place.
I don't get it, Mom. It doesn't make a bit of sense. Why are you so opposed to me getting married? I mean, the simple fact that I'm several years older than Luna makes it far more likely that I get married first, statistically speaking.
Don't play dumb with me. This has nothing to do with age, and you know it. The problem is that you're a high school dropout. Your sister Luna, however, went to a prestigious university and graduated with honors. You're inferior to her in every way imaginable. How could I ever allow you to get married before her?
I am at a loss for words. I genuinely don't know what to say in response to that.
Ever since she was a small child, I always knew that Luna would grow up to be beautiful and intelligent. I'm so proud to be her mother. You, on the other hand, are an ugly high school dropout. I'm ashamed to even be associated with you. And yet you still felt like you had the right to get married before your sister. You don't deserve happiness, Melina. You don't deserve love. Luna deserves everything.
Are you joking right now? You've got some nerve to say that to me. It's not like I wanted to drop out of high school. I had no choice. And you were the one who left me with no other choice, Mom. After Dad passed away when I was a freshman in high school, we did hit some hard financial times. But then you decided that we could only afford to have one of our family members going to school. You made me drop out of high school so I could work to support the family.
What was I supposed to do? Someone had to support the family. Your father died before his career took off. He left us with absolutely nothing.
If that's really the case, then we should have at least talked everything over as a family before deciding how to move forward. But you wouldn't listen to a word I said. You made the decision completely arbitrarily and without talking to either of us. Do you remember what you said to me then? You said that a college degree would be wasted on an ugly girl like me. So you made me drop out of high school to pay for Luna's college education.
With limited financial resources, I had no choice but to spend efficiently. With beauty and brains, Luna's sure to find a husband with no trouble at all. A man with class, style, talent, and of course, tons and tons of money. Once Luna marries that wealthy man, then he'll be able to support Luna and me. And I won't have any issues with maintaining a decent lifestyle into my elderly years. I had everything planned out intricately, and it all hinged on Luna going to college instead of you.
I see. So you weren't thinking about me or Luna. You were only ever thinking about yourself. You say you're ashamed to be associated with me?
Well, that makes two of us. I'm ashamed to call you my mother. Well, to think I worked so hard to raise you all by myself, only for you to speak in such a disrespectful way to me. I hope you're not planning on receiving any sort of wedding gift from me. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't plan on me coming to your wedding at all.
You can cut the act, Mom. We both know you were never going to give us anything to begin with.
Even if you're telling the truth and really are marrying a college graduate, it still wouldn't be worth my time to attend the wedding. Nothing changes the fact that he decided to marry an ugly high school dropout. He must be hideously ugly. He's probably overweight, too. Oh, and unemployed to boot. That's the only sort of man who would choose you to spend their life with.
Hey, Ken, got a minute? I need to talk to you about the wedding. Long story short, we're not gonna need to prepare a seat for my mom at the venue.
Oh boy. I guess that means she turned you down then?
I'm sorry, I've told you about this before, but my family is, well, kind of dysfunctional. I was planning to ask that she please come when I talked to her yesterday, but we just ended up having another fight. And toward the end, she said in no uncertain terms that she had no intentions of coming to our wedding. To be really honest, though, I don't really want her to come either.
Man, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I definitely would love for her to come to such an important event, but... Well, what can you do? I know you have a messy history with your mom, and if it's just gonna cause problems, then we don't need to invite her. It's our wedding, isn't it? The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones.
Thank you for being so understanding, Ken.
Oh, but what about your sister? Is she coming? Your issues are just between you and your mom, right?
Oh yeah, me and my sister get along just fine. We used to hang out together all the time whenever Mom wasn't around. Honestly, it seems like life for her isn't all rainbows and unicorns either. Getting love-bombed by my mom on a daily basis is just as troublesome as getting hate-bombed. I'm pretty concerned for her the way things are. When I announced that you proposed, Mom's face turned pale as a ghost, but Luna lit up with excitement. She was so happy for me.
That's great to hear. So does that mean we can plan on her coming?
Well, I haven't told her any details about the wedding yet, just the fact that we're engaged. I've been meaning to talk to her about that sometime in the near future.
Okay. From what you're telling me, it seems like it might be for the best to wait a bit before telling her, though. The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones. That's a really busy time of the year for students at that college.
I guess you're right. We can put it off for a bit longer. Thanks for the advice, Ken. I love you. Talk to you later.
Mom, what in the world are you doing? You said you weren't coming. We never even sent you an invitation. But now you just show up out of nowhere and barge your way in? And that's all besides the point. Why are you dressed like that? I felt responsibility as your mother to ensure that this wedding is a total disaster. What do you think of my outfit, dear? It took me forever to put it all on, not to mention finding somewhere they sell scythes. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get your hands on a real scythe these days?
You have gone completely insane. And you mean to tell me you went out of your way to come to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper just to ruin my wedding? What is wrong with you?
I told you, Melina, there was no way I was ever going to allow this wedding to go forward. You have no business getting married before Luna. At first I thought it would be enough to refuse to come, but the more I thought about it, I realized that simply my opposition wouldn't be enough to get you to cancel this monstrosity of a wedding. I knew that I had to forever bury your hopes and dreams of getting married. That's why I decided to come dressed as the Grim Reaper.
I don't believe this. How could you be so opposed to me getting married, Mom? I'm your daughter. Don't you want to see your daughter find happiness?
I would love nothing more than for my superior daughter to find happiness. You, however, are an inferior product. I could never allow a failure such as yourself to be happy. The thought of such an ugly, uneducated person walking down the aisle in a beautiful white dress, grinning from ear to ear, it just makes me sick. Why should you be so happy when the more deserving people are miserable? Have you no shame?
That's my line. Are you listening to yourself?
You should live a life more fitting of someone of your stature, poor, cold, and alone. And yet you have the gall to throw such an elaborate wedding. Luna should be getting married today, not you. You don't deserve any of this, and as God is my witness, I will do everything in my power to take it all away from you.
I can't do this anymore. You've always preferred Luna over me ever since we were kids. You never cared about me. You never loved me at all. If that's how you feel about me, why can't you just leave me alone? It's no business of yours who I marry, when I marry them, and what kind of wedding I have. Stay out of my life.
It's not that I don't care. If I didn't care, then you wouldn't make me so furious as you do. You're the spitting image of your father, that useless excuse for a man. How could he go and leave me alone like this? He forced me to take on the entire burden of supporting this family by myself. And every time I look at you, I'm reminded of him and what he did to me.
Mom.
That's why it pains me so much to see you happy. That's why I have to stop this wedding. Getting married is the happiest moment in anyone's life. I remember how I felt on my wedding day. Do you see now? Do you understand why I must do what I'm doing now?
So, that's why you're doing this? That's why you've been so awful to me all these years? I always thought you were just playing favorites because Luna's prettier than I am. I'm not deluded about my looks. I'm well aware that most people would say that Luna is the prettier sister. I freely admit that she's prettier than I am. But that wasn't it, was it? It was really all because I looked like Dad. Mom, I understand you've gone through some hard times. But that's no reason for you to use me as some kind of punching bag. I don't exist for you to vent your frustrations out on. I'm a human being. I'm your daughter.
You're right about one thing. You are indeed my daughter. And as my daughter, you are what I say you are. And I say you're my punching bag.
You're the worst, Mom. You treated me like trash to try and make yourself feel better. And today you came to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper with a real scythe and everything just to try and ruin my chance at happiness. You're such a child, Mom. Why did Dad have to be the one to die?
Shut your mouth, little girl. You can't talk to me like that. You're nothing but an ugly high school dropout. You're a disgrace to both me and your sister. Ruining this day for you has been the most fulfilling thing I've done in years.
I hate to interrupt your self-satisfaction, but aren't you forgetting something important?
What?
You never asked me who my fiancé was. I told Luna about him, and she's met him in person before. So I figured she would have said something to you about him. But from the sounds of things, you really don't know anything, huh? Come to think of it, I'll bet she intentionally left you in the dark.
What's going on with you, Melina? You think your husband's identity would mean anything to me? I don't care one bit about who you're marrying. You claim he went to college, but I bet it was just some community college. No man worthy of my attention would ever marry an ugly high school dropout for a wife.
Well, while I did start out taking classes at a community college, my educational path didn't stop there. I went on to receive a master's degree, and I'm currently a tenure-track professor. But those qualifications aren't enough for you, Mother? My goodness, you have high standards.
What? Who is this?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Ken, and today it is my distinguished honor to receive your daughter's hand in holy matrimony. As I just mentioned, I'm currently teaching at a nearby university. I think you may have heard of it, considering it's the university that your other daughter, Luna, is attending.
You're a college professor? And at Luna's school, but that's the most prestigious university in the state.
Well, in all fairness, I was only hired this school year, so I'm new on campus. However, in that short time, I just so happened to have met Luna multiple times. Twice a week, to be precise, she's enrolled in one of my classes. She always sits in the front row and is very attentive. Most of my students are constantly fiddling with their phones during class, but not her.
This can't be happening. You're a college professor and Luna is one of your students? But, if you really have the qualifications that you say you do, then why would you even consider marrying Melina? I shouldn't have to tell you that she's ugly, but are you aware she's a high school dropout? Someone of your caliber shouldn't be wasting your time with an imbecile like her.
Yes, I'm aware of Melina's educational history. I disagree wholeheartedly on your assessment of her appearance and intelligence, however. Frankly, educational attainment is a horrible measure of a person's cognitive capacity. I can't begin to tell you how ungifted some of the people I have to deal with at the university are.
What?
Melina, however, is incredibly gifted, particularly in foreign languages. Did you know she's fluent in Spanish, French, and Mandarin? She makes great use of those skills in her work, too. Honestly, she's one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I've ever known.
But I don't remember her ever studying foreign languages. How could she speak all those languages without even finishing high school?
It seems you're not aware of much of anything at all that Melina has done with her life. She's the international liaison officer for a major trading company. It's her responsibility to translate during international meetings between the company's branches in Los Angeles, Madrid, Paris, and Beijing. Ordinarily, a company would have to hire at least one person per language, but she handles it all by herself.
I had no idea.
It's precisely those language skills that brought us together. You see, there was recently a major development in my field at a university in France. Unfortunately, however, I don't speak French. That's where Melina came in. It wasn't even in a field that she was an expert in, but she translated the entire paper in an afternoon. The way she was so willing and eager to take on a new challenge was completely enrapturing. I fell in love at first sight.
With her?
I invited her out on a date after that. Eventually, we became officially a couple, and just a few months ago, I asked her to be my wife. I've been looking forward to our wedding for so long, and Melina was doubly as excited. And yet, you, Melina's own mother, came out here today on a mission to crush her happiness. Ma'am, I'm not quick to be incensed. I like to think I'm one of the more level-headed people I know, but even I am struggling to rein in my anger right now.
Listen, Professor, I would like to apologize for everything I've said. Oh my goodness, I had no idea a person such as yourself would be interested in someone like Melina. And not only that, you're Luna's professor as well. I'm so ashamed. I'm going to go change into proper attire now. I'll be back in a moment.
Waste your time. We never prepared a place for you today anyway. Leave immediately. You are not welcome here.
What?
Let me make myself crystal clear. If you do not leave the premises within 3 minutes, I will call the police. Also, you should know that our university has a world-class law school. I know many of the world's best lawyers on a first-name basis. I will force you to take responsibility for what you've done here today. That I can promise you.
I'm leaving right now. I'm very sorry for everything. Melina, you owe me an explanation. Why didn't you ever tell me about Ken? I had no idea he was a college professor. I just humiliated myself thanks to you.
Thanks to me? Nah, you did a good enough job of humiliating yourself without any help from me at all. And please, I tried to tell you about Ken so many times. I've been trying to get you to come and meet him for the last several months. But you refused to meet him, and you ignored or denied everything I told you about him.
Hush, you! You could have tried much harder to introduce him to me. Oh, for the love of... I'll have to go and apologize to Ken immediately. I still can't believe he was Luna's professor. Maybe if I butter him up enough, he might give up his silly pursuit of you and marry Luna instead.
I don't believe you. You're still just thinking about using Luna's life as your retirement plan.
Nonsense! I'm doing this for Luna. The fact that I'll benefit is merely a pleasant side effect. A man like him deserves a woman like Luna on his arm. I need to call Luna too, so we can schedule a strategy planning session. She's going to be so happy when she hears I've found a husband for her.
No, I don't think she's going to be so eager to take you up on that. She's already married.
What? Luna is married?
As expected, you are completely oblivious. You've showered her with affection every day of her life, but you never asked her if she had a boyfriend?
Melina, what are you talking about? What do you mean Luna's married? That can't be.
It totally can, actually. She just got married a few weeks ago.
No!
Luna had a big midterm exam a while back, but she was absent that day. Ken was concerned about her since he'd never seen her miss a single class. That made me worried too, so I gave Luna a call and she spilled the beans to me. It turns out that she was pregnant and felt too sick to get out of bed that morning. Furthermore, she was considering dropping out of school completely to get married.
She's pregnant? Oh no!
Yeah, I was surprised at first too. Then I went over to see her, and sure enough, she had grown a bit rounder in her face and waist. At that point, she was about 5 months pregnant.
No, Luna. Oh, my darling, sweet Luna. She was my everything, my hopes and my dreams. And now, oh, my dreams have been crushed to pieces.
She told me that she was sick and tired of everything. All the affection and attention you had heaped on her had become a massive amount of pressure. She did what you asked of her and got into that prestigious university, but she hated every single day of it. It was around that time when she met a nice guy, started dating him, and eventually got pregnant.
This is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, this is precisely the response she was afraid of. She was so afraid of what you'd say if she came out and told you the truth, so she hid her pregnancy from you. I was the first person other than her boyfriend that she had even told about being pregnant.
Where is Luna right now? Tell me. Oh, she can't be pregnant as a college student. I won't allow it. I'll also have to go and examine this boyfriend of hers to see if he's up to snuff. If she met him at her university, then there's a good chance he's exactly the kind of man I'm looking for. If he's gotten my precious Luna pregnant, then he's going to have to take responsibility by paying for my living expenses.
Yep, that's exactly what Luna thought you'd say, and that's exactly why she dropped out of college. She's already moved in with the baby's father.
What? She dropped out?
Looks like Luna finally had enough of you, Mom. She said that she was sick and tired of doing what you say. She'd been pushing herself to limit every single day of her life and couldn't handle it anymore. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet, peaceful life with her husband and their baby.
No. So you're telling me the truth then? She really dropped out of college? How could she do that without talking to me first?
Do I really need to answer that question? She had enough of your advice, so she came to me for help instead. I told her what you should have told her years ago, that her life is her own and no one else's. For her part, Luna felt awful about going to college while I was forced to drop out of high school. But honestly, dropping out was the best decision I've ever made. It freed me up to learn about what's really important in life rather than what they shove down your throat in school. When I told her that, it was all the encouragement she needed to walk straight to the administration office and drop out.
This is terrible. So where is she now? Do you know?
Nope, she didn't tell me, and I didn't ask. She sent me an envelope with a card congratulating me on my wedding, but there was no return address on it.
She can't do this to me. Oh, my sweet, precious Luna. She had everything. Looks, brains, style. I poured everything I had into her. What am I supposed to do now? I'm all alone.
Yeah, your big retirement plan hinged on Luna marrying a rich guy after all. But since Luna's out of the picture now, you'll just have to figure something out for yourself. And with that, I'm taking my leave from this conversation.
Melina, wait. You weren't my first choice, but with Luna gone, well, beggars can't be choosers. Now you can be my favorite daughter.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry for being so cruel to you up until now. I just had no idea what a bright, intelligent, hard-working woman you were. How about we just forget about all our nasty pain and come together as a family again? I know. How about you and Ken take me out to dinner one of these nights?
Not a chance. You're way, way too late to have this change of heart.
But I'm sincere about this, Melina. I want to make it up to you. We've got a lot of lost time between us as mother and daughter, dear. It's not too late to repair our relationship.
Yes, it is. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a mother. You're dead to me.
Melina, don't say that, please.
You have only yourself to blame for this. You've been the absolute worst mother in the world to me ever since Dad died. Come to think of it, I don't even remember you being kind to me while Dad was still alive. So no, it is most assuredly too late for you to start trying to be my mom again.
I know things have been difficult between us, but time heals all wounds. Let's give it some time, okay? I'm begging you, Melina. Without you, I have nothing left.
That's your problem, not mine. Maybe you should have thought twice before coming to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, that was just a joke. I was trying to be funny.
No one's laughing, Mom. Never contact me again. I won't even come to your funeral when you finally die. My mom tried to contact me a bunch of times after that, but I eventually got sick of it and blocked her number, so that was the end of that. I heard from my relatives and neighbors that she had gone around begging for any information on Luna's whereabouts. But they knew exactly what Mom had been doing to both me and her since our dad died, so none of them were willing to give up any of the little information they had. I don't blame them either. Mom always paraded her around like a new sports car or something. She only ever saw Luna as a designer purse, never as a daughter. Actually, I take that back. She also saw her as a walking, breathing retirement account. While I don't know where she's living, I still keep in touch with my sister. It's so nice to have Mom out of both of our lives now. She used to dominate every conversation, but now she's not even an afterthought. The baby's gonna be born soon, and both she and her husband are more excited than they have ever imagined they would be. I know just what a hardworking, intelligent, and positive girl Luna is, so I know she's gonna be a fantastic mother for that baby. I'm looking forward to having a similar sort of family life here with my husband Ken, too.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.